What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Dude Perfect Fancast, episode 17, part 1.
Yes, part 1.
Dude Perfect documentary review.
Yes, we're going to be reviewing the Dude Perfect Backstage Pass documentary. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Do not go away. So we're going to be reviewing the first half of the documentary. And then next week, we will be reviewing the second half of the Dude Perfect documentary. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I have 3.5 pages of notes that I have here.
0 pages.
Yep.
Physical notes, but I have 3.5 pages of mental notes.
Yep, mental notes for him. Yeah, stayed up till midnight last night just making notes. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Okay. But before we get into it, we have some news, kind of. So we passed, we said this on the game time, but we officially passed 100, followers on Instagram. Yay! 100, yay, okay. Well, yeah, so we did that, and then, so yeah, that's great. And then, as this is coming out, we're recording this the day before it comes out, but I made a Lego DPHQ2. A Lego, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so go check it out on our Instagram. I wouldn't be surprised if Dude Perfect liked it, if they commented, if they put it on their story. I don't know. It's not even out yet. So I'm just guessing, but have this on record. If they do follow us, put it on their story. Every Dude Perfect member connected to Dude Perfect likes this. Hey, okay, I'm just, I am just like a, whatever, I don't know.
A dreamer?
I am a, looking into a future. Yeah, okay.
Also,
yeah.
News just came out today that Dude Perfect All Sports Golf Battle 4 with Zac Efron is coming out in a couple weeks.
Yep, and we will talk about that.
Review of that.
Yeah, we will talk about we will be kind of reviewing that later next week, on the next half of the backstage pass, because they do stuff. But yeah, but before we do that, so we have a couple 5-star reviews. So one is from Snakiest Boot. Nice name. Shout out to you. And then it says Kobe. Yep. It says Kobe, you got this. Kobe, you got this and a win for me. So we're not Dude Perfect. So yeah, just putting that out there. And then Elijah Jarrow, also had a 5-star review for us, and he said, "Hey guys, love your podcast. This is my all-time favorite podcast. Noah and Asher, I can't wait to hear your solo podcasts. Mr. Beast is one of my favorite YouTube stars, under Dude Perfect, obviously. Could you please give me a shout-out? My name is Elijah Jarrett. There's your shout-out. Planet Noggin, see ya." So yeah, Mr. Beast Fancast is out now. So yeah, it's good. I just put out the second episode. It's reviewing, there wasn't a Mr. Beast episode this week, or a video, so I just reviewed the most popular video of his, which was, the Egg Olympics one, the one with the egg. So yeah, I actually forgot about Mr. Beast Fancast, and just one day, I put together everything, so yeah. It might not be the best episode, but it's an episode, so yeah. So yeah, guys, let's get into Dude Perfect Backstage Pass review. So before we go through and summarize it, we have, just some little, I guess one fact about it. So this one fact is that this documentary was as long as the tour show was.
Yeah.
So the show,
close, right? And
yeah,
like a couple minutes less though, but
yeah.
still.
So the Pound It Noggin tour, like in person one, was 90 minutes long, and this documentary was about 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
A couple minutes short, but that's fine. Yeah.
It definitely the tour definitely felt way longer.
Well, that's because there's breaks.
The documentary.
That's because there's breaks in the middle of it, or in between.
I don't know. It just felt like the documentary went by so fast. I'm like, I'm already halfway there.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Okay, so we're reviewing this. So it came out a week and a half ago. Noah, how many times have you seen it?
I have seen it, maybe 4 times?
I've seen it probably 7. So yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I saw it like 4 times after it came out. A lot more. Yeah, I love this. Okay, so what did you think that it was going to be before it came out? Like from the trailers?
I definitely thought it was going to be different. I thought it would be more like they definitely. Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
It's like some parts I'm like, yeah, like going like through it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely thought they would have more like talk about like the path to do perfect and all that stuff. But they still did, but they didn't have as much as I thought they would.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be talking more about like the past too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that it would be like just about the tour. But it would make sense that it was because all of Dude Perfect is kind of leading up to the tour, in a way, and the documentary. So, I mean, I thought that there was going to be some mentions of the past, but not that much. I thought that it would be all the tour and, like, problems with it. Like, the biggest thing was I thought that there was going to be every night, like, they show the problems that come with each show.
Yeah.
And there wasn't. It was just about the first. Yeah, it was just about the first show, and then there wasn't really any problems. But Jeff Toney, I forget where he said it, but Jeff Toney said that there's problems every night. Like, just like I don't know how he said it, but like there was problems with each show, like every night. And I thought that it would dive into that more. But I mean, I like that. I mean, okay. Now let's get into it. 10. So, let's start. Yay. Okay, so it starts with them talking about their first video. So they're the backyard battle, or no, backyard trick shots or something.
The first name was Backyard Stunt.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
If you're a true fan, sure.
Yep, I am, but that's not the name of it's Backyard Edition. That's the name of their first video. So it talks about them doing that, making that first video, and it actually includes some bloopers of that first video, which is kind of, I don't know how they dug those up. Like, if they had, it was 10 years ago, though.
Yeah, they used Corey's camera. I bet Corey kept that camera.
Yeah, maybe they had just the files of all the, the recordings on that or something. Yeah. They had to do some digging probably for that.
Definitely.
So and then it just started with them talking about the first show, how they didn't, or the video, how they didn't think that they would amount to anything. They were just making this video to have fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, it blew up. That's the reason why we're here today. And then after that, it's kind of like a montage of them through the years, getting big, getting famous. Yeah. And then after that, it introduces the idea of a tour. So could they do a tour? What would they want in the tour? And stuff like that. And then it went to the intro. So the Corey, Kobe, executive producers kind of thing, which is kind of cool. It made it official. I didn't think that it would be that official, but and then it showed the intro. So the Dude Perfect backstage pass. And then, so after that, when it's like full-fledged into the documentary, after the intro, it shows rehearsals at DPHQ2. So like
I remember
rehearsals.
Well, yeah, it was on their story about when they were doing their rehearsals.
Yeah.
I remember watching their stories about it, and now just seeing like more of it. Yeah. It's like just so weird.
Yeah, DJ Michael V. Yeah, he had some stories about him getting to the DPHQ2 and like stuff like that. But I didn't know that they had their family come in.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
A live performance. But yeah, that was cool. That's a little bit. We're kind of going forward. So after the rehearsals, after the first rehearsal at DPHQ2, then they said like that they were working with a tour company, which I didn't know that at the time. They didn't really publicize it. I thought that it was just like them. But yeah, that was cool that they got to work with a touring company. I definitely didn't know that, and that was cool to like look into that. Yeah, and then it talked about them, like how they incorporated all their videos into this tour. So battles, trick shots, overtime, and stereotypes, all that into the tour.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then talked about how they how they met each other during college, like how Ty met the twins and how the twins met Cody and Garrett.
Yeah, because you always see like those YouTube videos about them, like how they met, and now like you're actually like hearing it from them and how everything actually happened like in depth. Like
it definitely, because they didn't really say this, but Ty knew Garrett before, like he knew Garrett in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but then like you like what you hear from YouTube videos that aren't them. It's like they Ty and Garrett met in high school, wherever, and then the twins and Cody met Tyler and Garrett in college years or whatever. And it doesn't really go in depth. Like,
but now it really goes in depth of how everything like happens, plays out.
It makes sense. Yeah, and I mean I love like hearing that kind of, how that happened, like from their standpoint. And then and then they talked about a philosophy that I personally didn't know. They kind of mention it, but it was, I don't know, like I've heard it before, but I haven't really thought about it, I guess. So they talk about how their philosophy before, like in their new first years and then now is that each video or series has to be better than the last one, and that the videos that they like put out to YouTube has to be videos that you don't see anywhere else. So that's why, I mean, and it makes sense. That's why they don't do like the challenges, like make slime challenges or something like that. It makes sense that because they aren't YouTubers, but like they aren't like the vloggers or anything like that.
Yeah, they're not like they want to make content that is like that they start.
Yeah.
They don't want to they want to start something new, like what they did with trick shots. They started something totally new on YouTube.
Yeah, they were the kings.
And they just want to keep doing that instead of using things that already have like a outline for what it needs to be a vlog channel, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've always said to, I don't know, people who think about Dude Perfect, like when they mention, like when they don't know much about Dude Perfect, and then they mention like they've seen a little bit about Dude Perfect, I always say that they're kind of like the kings of trick shots because they started it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely makes sense. Like over time, you haven't seen really any of those. No. Like it's their take on a variety show. They said that later in the doc. But yeah, it's really cool to see how that philosophy like is kind of like makes sense.
Now. And is used and how they make their videos with everything in there.
And honestly, this whole documentary shows how, like, the questions of Dude Perfect that I had, it kind of, like, all makes sense. And it's, like, the missing puzzle piece to Dude Perfect, I guess. But yeah, and then, so next, they had the family rehearsals. So they had their family come see the show. They had family and friends, and that was really cool. They got a cool setup on DPHQ2. And yeah, that was cool. That was really cool to see them. And it talked with their wives. How their wives, like when they come back, like Tyler never talks about Dude Perfect with his family, which is kind of cool. Like, how he doesn't brag about what he's done or whatever, that it's all like new and stuff to them when they see the videos or whatever. And I could expect Garrett to tell, everything that he does to his wife, because he's kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it, but like he's kind of a person who would think tell everything to his family.
I feel like Cody would too.
Yeah, and definitely Cody would tell it to his daughters.
Yeah.
Tell everything from what he did that day or whatever. So yeah, and then they prayed afterwards about the tour, and it was really cool to see Dude Perfect, everybody knew that, or not everybody, but a lot of Dude Perfect fans knew that they come from, they're Christians, and that's how they do everything, and it really shows in this tour that they weren't afraid to, put out, to, share their religion or anything how they're Christians, that they definitely talked about it a lot, and we'll see later in the tour that they talk about Jesus a lot, and that's how I heard about Dude Perfect. I heard about Dude Perfect from my church, from people from my church. So yeah, because
that's where we met too.
Yeah. Okay, so next it's the tour day. They start off on their 21 city or 22 tour. Yeah. So it was touring day. They flew to San Diego, and they got to go into and see their stage for the first time, which is really cool. And when they walked in, they had the intro music and then the lights and everything going along. Which is really cool to see. Yeah. Okay, and then, so a big part of the first show, which I'd be definitely like this too, they were very scared. There was complications.
Oh, yeah, you could, see it in their eyes.
Yeah, Cody, when he was saying, all would be fine, and, I could tell that he...
I could tell that Cody was, this
he definitely didn't know.
Either go horrible or go great.
Yeah. And so yeah, the lemons were on bad space, I guess.
I know.
Complications. They kind of picked at all the stuff that was wrong just to make, I don't know, if it was just to make it look hard or something.
Build suspense and that stuff.
Yeah.
I was actually nervous for him.
Yeah, me too.
Even though it went really good. You're still oh my gosh, how?
Yeah.
Because you always wonder how are they going to get out of this mess? You know what happens, but you don't know how.
Yeah.
You want to know how.
But yeah, this was really cool to see. Because they're humans. They don't always. They aren't perfect. They don't go out there with everything all together or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was cool to see, how they went over the show, but it wasn't smooth, and then to see how every other show it went over smooth, and it kind of Jeff Tony, Tyler's dad, said it kind of best when he was the dudes are good live performers, but rehearsing is kind of hard.
Yeah, I bet, because like when you're rehearsing, you don't have like you have stress, but you don't have as much stress as you are in when it's live.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I don't know if I forget if they mentioned this on the tour, but the dudes, like, except Cody, but they were very scared to do stuff with Cody, because like he says anything, there's no real filter on him.
Yeah.
So it was I think they were stressing out more for Cody and stuff.
I bet I would too.
Yeah.
Like my brother, my older brother, mm-hmm. he just says what's on his mind, not a filter, just like Cody. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm always like, what's he gonna say now? Yeah.
Okay, and then they're scared. Tyler has the nervous poos. And then it shows what?
I was gonna say, on their first show, when like mm-hmm. When stuff wasn't working, Tyler mm-hmm. actually seemed really mad at like the guy they were talking to. Maybe not at the guy, but like just mad about it. Yeah. And like the guy was like, "Oh crap." Yeah, I wouldn't want mad Tyler. I mean, he's probably seen I would not want to be that guy.
Yeah.
The part of the crew.
He's probably seen Rage Monster, and he knew that it was kind of fake, but there is some of that Rage Monster that's the reason.
Ty definitely has a little bit.
That's the reason why Ty is the Rage Monster and not like Cody. You know.
Yeah, because even in like, if you remember this, but the Endless Ducker game. Yeah. Ty was really mad. Yeah. Because like. Oh, he got really mad during that though.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But then, so they're all nervous, and then it shows a montage of their first show and how it went over nice. You know, how they were scared, but then they weren't scared anymore because it went over smoothly. They were like in the middle. I loved how like I think Kobe went down, and he was like so ecstatic, like that he was just like so like happy and stuff. You know, it is really cool to see that. So yeah. And Kobe won the first tour. He won the first battle.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I already knew that because there's like a full video on YouTube about that. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and then so when it's kind of like, I don't know. So when it showed them going out, so like the intro, from where I was, like live, where I was, I didn't know the volume in the room. I just knew, because it was so loud, and I was screaming too, that I didn't know the volume from where I was at and like how loud it was going to be, like how loud it was.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah, but now seeing that, I like it kind of, yeah, it was cool to see like how loud it was, because I kind of always, it was in the back of my mind when I thought about it, because like I just forgot or whatever, but yeah, it was really cool. And to like see them, like I know it kind of like took me back to the show, like to when we saw it live.
Remembering when we went to the tour.
Yeah.
Just like remembering the different parts.
Yeah, and actually I went back and I listened to our old episode. To the Dude Perfect Fancast old episode about the Dude Perfect tour, and we don't say anything about it. We don't say the segments or anything because we wanted to be, we wanted people who hadn't seen the tour yet to, like, so that we didn't spoil it.
Oh yeah.
But we shouldn't have done that. We should have actually reviewed each segment.
We should have put a spoiler warning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we would have done that better. But
back when we were noobs at this.
Yep. But yeah, sorry guys for not saying the what is it, like the each
different segments.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
But hey, go listen to the 4th episode because Noah shares his celebrity crush, which I don't think has changed. So yeah. Okay. So it shows them behind the scenes going off stage, and like their reaction in the middle of the show to like, you know, like how like they're just like so ecstatic and like just so happy about how it turned out. So yeah, and then it was the first night on the bus for them, and Tyler slept under Cody, and you know, Cody's the snorer. But I had a question about this. So, why didn't they go on the bus to San Diego? Because they flew to San Diego.
My guess is that because first show they want to get there on time, I bet.
Yeah.
And I bet maybe the bus they're renting out is the company is from San Diego.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
So they just got it at San Diego. Be like, we get it from San Diego.
Yeah.
Just so we don't have to drive from Texas to all the way to San Diego, because San Diego is pretty far from Texas.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I thought that all the setup, like the stage and everything, they bought it or whatever, like rented it in San Diego.
Yeah.
So like they had that. Another thing was they didn't address this in the doc, but how did they get the stage? How did they transport that into thing from thing?
So I'm guessing. So all the stages must be, or most of the stages should be built the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like the main platform, like the where everything was, except for like the 4 smaller ones with the dudes.
Yeah.
Except for, I bet those were already there at each venue, because those would just be horrible to move and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I bet like it's just like add-ons easily. I bet all stages have them.
Yeah.
Especially at the venues, they just have like add-ons they can add to whatever they want.
Yeah.
And then maybe the smaller ones they ship.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they just already have them.
Yeah, I was
knowing like a lot of stage venues, like big things like that, they have a lot of different types of staging they can probably put down.
Yeah.
So I bet they all had them. Maybe that's my guess.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like they could like take down easily, like it could like, because I think like there was different what is it, like pieces of the stage, I thought. So maybe they like had 2, they bought 2 of those, and then they just transported them, like...
Yeah, like they had one at the venue they're at, and then sent it to the next venue.
Yeah, or like the night before, they sent it to the, like...
Yeah,
to
so
the
always have the next venue. The next venue always has the other one, and then they just take the one that they were just, send it to the one before, after that.
Yeah.
That could be the way they did it.
Yeah. Yep, and then, so they talked about their fans. So like how their fans like how they love seeing their fans, and like how the tour is kind of their way of seeing the fans. And I forget who it said this, but they said and this is definitely true, like that we know, like you and me, and all the Dude Perfect fans out there, definitely know Dude Perfect like pretty well, like almost like it's like
if you're like a pretty good fan, like you know you know basic things about everything.
Yeah, I mean like I know their family, I know like how they met, I know every video, like stuff that they said in each video, like I'm like Cody said that he's like he doesn't like dairy or whatever because he's lactose intolerant. Like they said that, so we know. It's like we're their friend or whatever. But like they don't know us. You know, it's like they don't know us at all, but we know them like really well. So yeah, that's kind of. It's kind of like I knew that before, but it's kind of like how they said it, kind of like I don't know. It kind of made me think a little bit. But yeah. Okay, so we have an ad. We'll come back for that, and we'll review the next part of the first half of the tour. I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah. Okay, hope you liked that ad. Now, so the next part of the tour documentary. So they went under this bridge, in San Diego, I guess, and they had all these names, like, I don't know, like, they're singers, bands, stuff like that, and Dude Perfect was in it, I was thinking, like, I don't know this for sure, but I see this a lot. And I think that these are, like, all the names that they went to this certain venue.
Yeah. Because a lot of places, like, many different venues have, like, a whole wall of who's been at that venue.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing every venue that has one of those, Dude Perfect is up there.
Yeah. That's just my guess. It might be wrong, but yeah. And that was cool to see that, like, Dude Perfect was in a great spot. Yeah. Okay. So next they were talking about each other's personality. So I'm just gonna, I went through and I kind of said, like, something about each one of them. So, Cody, he's, smelly, loud, funny, goofy, and confrontational. That's the guy's description of Cody.
So Cody's, like, probably, if you wanted to meet somebody from Dude Perfect, Cody and Kobe would probably be the two guys.
Yeah, because, I mean, Kobe's nice. Cody's loud, funny.
Cody's, like, I feel like Cody would be one of those people that could talk for an hour.
And I think in a few years, I am just, like, I don't know about this. I might just be like, whatever I was saying before, like how I'm like know into the future or whatever. But I think that when we have, I'm saying when, okay, that's how confident I am, that when we have Dude Perfect on the show, Cody's gonna be the best one to interview, and that's gonna be in a few years. But yeah, it's gonna be cool to interview Cody. And hey, that's just, it might be wrong. I don't know. But hey, we're not going away until we get an interview from Dude Perfect. That's just what I'm saying. Okay.
So if we're 80 years old,
yeah,
and we haven't interviewed them,
well, they'd probably be dead. But like, if they're still alive,
you never know. You never know.
Hey, they're in good health, and I guess they're 30, but whatever. Okay, so then Garrett, it was kind of funny to see that Garrett, like, they were saying all this about Cody, but Garrett, they only said he's clean. He's a clean freak.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's, like, the only thing. Like, they didn't say, like, oh, he's, like, he doesn't really want to be included in things, like, stuff like that. He's quiet. They said that he's just a clean freak. So, yeah, that was kind of funny. Then,
like, Garrett even looks like a clean freak.
Yeah, and his house, it kind of shows him his house. But yeah, very clean, very organized, kind of like me. I'm a very organized person. So yeah, and then Corey, twin number 2, love being twin. Like, the twins love being twins. And he's very loyal. That's what he's the first person to have your back. That's pretty much what they said. I can
definitely see that. I feel like Corey would be one of the people that's like, okay, what can I do to help?
Yeah. Okay, I'm turning the first page. That was all in the first page. Like, the first 40 minutes is all in the first page. Okay. Kobe is the encourager, and then the nicest one out of the group. So yeah, I think that's why he's Team Kobe. I'm Team Kobe because he's just the nice one. Like, in a team, he's the one that you want to be friends with because he's the encourager. Like, he has your back, kind of thing. Like, he's like the combination of Corey too. Like, they're both loyal and encourager because they're I don't know, like, they're the same person but they're different. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, they're twins.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so Ty, I put down TT. He loves he goes alive when he's in a crowd or the center of attention. Cody, when he was describing Ty, he said I guess he's the face of the group. Like, he already was. Like, why is he in the middle of the overtime set if he's not the face of the group? Yeah. Ty's the face of the group. He's talented and very athletic. So yeah.
But he's also very outdoorsy.
Yep. Yeah, he's I like the picture of him that they showed with just, like, seaweed on his head. That's a good picture. So then after they talked about their personalities. They talked about why they like their steps doing or planning this tour. So they were thinking about doing a trick shots tour, or they weren't really thinking. They didn't want to do a trick shot tour because if they got in the first try, that would be great. But it's only happened really once, and that was the world record thing that they got in the first try.
I think probably 3 out of all their trick shots have been first tries. The world record, and I think another world record one, and then just another one that they just happened to get.
Yeah, and then it shows some bloopers, mostly the ones that they had in the real life trick shots, but there was some other bloopers that we haven't seen, so that's cool. I always like bloopers. And then it shows how they introduced stereotypes. How they going away from trick shots and then introducing something new, which was just picking fun at at random things, like everything that you'd like, the types of personalities that you would see in one given situation. Which is, I don't know if that's totally original. Other people does that, but
I think the way they did it and how because with their stereotypes, there's kind of like a story to it. There's some type of story behind it. There probably was maybe a couple stereotypes things, but those were just small little clips. But these were all of them kind of make one big story. Kai's always been a rage monster. So
to Cody, well, he's always destroying Cody's stuff.
And how that's the story that because almost every stereotype, Kai, Cody somehow makes Ty angry. Or Ty gets really angry and destroys something of Cody's.
And other things how each person, how Cody's the Mr. Excuses, stuff like that. How other people are the different kinds of people. It kind of shows their character too. Whatever stereotypes there, that's kind of their characteristics. And when they were having this part of the documentary, I love the song behind this. I'm just gonna point stuff out, because I love the soundtrack for this documentary. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's a very interesting way to do this documentary, because each video, or each music song or whatever they had in these videos, they had what am I trying to say here?
I don't know.
So each song that they had in the documentary kind of shows a part of the thing. So this was more stereotypes part of it. The personalities one, there's different song for each dude. When they showed their personality. It's a cool concept for this documentary. I love this. And I love the songs that they did. Most of them are from their videos, but this one I don't think was. But I love this song. I really like it. And I actually found I actually searched for this song because I liked it so much in the documentary. And then so after that there was one stereotype character that in particular fans loved, and they had to have it in the tour. Noah? What is it?
The Rage Monster.
And it showed, Rage Monster. I liked how, because in the stereotypes video, it's always the peppy da na 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 na. It kind of, they got to have a Rage Monster with some epic a heavy metal song to it, and because that's kind of what they want in stereotypes, but they can't because they just have a song through the whole stereotype, and it'd be confusing if they had a different song. And I liked how I never knew this. My mom or my parents kind of complain when there's a rage monster because my brother and I kind of destroy things. A small scale, not like Ty, but they kind of complain when we do that. But parents actually have written into Dude Perfect telling them to stop Rage Monster, to delete it.
That's like, their kids must be like doing some bad stuff. They're actually writing to Dude Perfect.
Yeah, their kids must be like doing like really like destroying their golf carts and
like destroying chairs, throwing them around.
Yeah, and like destroying cars. Just doing terrible stuff. And I don't know. But yeah, it was kind of funny to see how like parents would write into the show, and they're never gonna do that. Like their fans love it. They love doing it. Yeah, they'll never. I'm gonna say that they're probably never going to take off something like that, because I mean, like, if it does hurt somebody or whatever, like lead to some controversy or hurt somebody, then they will take it off, and they will definitely do that. But not just because kind of because of that reason. Of like parents writing into the show because they don't like it. Yeah. Okay. So they talked about how fans backed them up when they introduced new series. So yeah, like kind of like overtime, stereotypes, battles. How their fans really backed them up when they like went away from totally like all trick shots. So yeah, and then so this part, I don't know, I think I have two favorite parts of the tour documentary. This part in particular, I think this one, because of the song, another great song. I searched it. Okay, so here, guys, go and listen to Living My Best Life by Paper Kings.
Yeah.
Love that song.
This part was really good.
Loved that song. I mean, yeah. Yeah, and they have Paper Kings song. They had that for hockey trick shots. So that's how they know them. But yeah, we actually put this clip on our Instagram page. So go check that out. So I loved seeing them behind the scenes, like during the tour, like how, like behind the scenes, like them getting scooters and like going around the town and, going to the pickle festival and stuff like that. It was really cool to see, like, because I mean, yes, they won't just stay at the venue during the whole time. What I thought was really cool was that, like, what if, so me and Noah ate at this, like, restaurant right by the venue.
Oh, yeah, like, it was literally, like, right next to it.
Yeah, and I was thinking, what if Dude Perfect was, like, in there? Like, what if Dude Perfect, like, before the tour?
At some point in time.
Yeah, that would be really cool if we, like, so that, because, I mean, like, yes, they needed to eat. They maybe ordered out just so that, because there was, like, fans surrounding that area.
Yeah, I definitely
that
think
time.
Like, when either, like, after when, like, like, maybe, like, when, like, barely anybody was there. Or, like, they went early before anybody was really there.
Yeah. And actually, the Dude Perfect squad, actually, that's discontinued. I don't think we said this on the show, but yes, the Dude Perfect squad ended a few months ago, just because it's getting too much. Kind of hoping that they kept it up during this quarantine, because, I mean, I want more content from them. But so they were talking about how, they had, like, different, food, like, the venue provided food for them. And that they would eat before the show, but then they would just regret it because they got stomach aches, like Cody had stomach aches and stuff.
I bet, like, they would be eating, like, nervous eating.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're on the show, they're getting, like, cramps, but they can't show it.
That would be hard for them. Probably not first show they did that, because, like, they would just be nervous.
But I bet, like, they just, because, like, that's probably their all-time nervousness.
The
whole thing, probably.
Yeah. Okay. And then last section, guys. The last section for this episode 17. So they were thinking about quitting Dude Perfect. So after college, each dude got married, or not each dude, but most of them got married. The twins were lived, I guess, together, but they were apart from the other dudes. And the twins would manage the thing. They would manage and edit Dude Perfect Monday through Friday because I guess they didn't have a job, or they were just using money from Dude Perfect to do that. And then they would all get together in Dallas to film. And I guess at that time, and I guess at that time they didn't go apart from trick shots. So they would have to do trick shots every Sunday. Yeah, and that would be so hard. Like, they made videos because trick shots are the hardest thing to make. Like, they can make an overtime in like a day, and it's like fun and easy. And like battles and stuff like that. But like
trick shots, you don't know how long one trick shot could take.
Yeah, and I mean,
also setting everything up.
Yeah, that was hard, and it just showed them, like, talked about how they were just so drained. Then when they got to their almost absolute breaking point, Corey got Bell's palsy, so how half of his face was paralyzed. That's caused by stress and lack of sleep, and stuff like that. And then but to go back, they never really talked about how, like, after college, before they went all in on Dude Perfect, they never really talk about that. But it was cool to see how, like, they're talking about that now. Definitely a question that I had for a while. And then they were just exhausted. Almost quit.
Gonna get fired.
So then they were texting back and forth if they wanted to quit YouTube. They had 1 million subscribers, which is kind of like, now they have like times 50 or whatever.
They have 51. So times 51.
Yeah.
They have 51 times more subscribers than they did when they first started.
Yeah. And then Ty couldn't film on Saturdays anymore. His boss said that he can't miss any Saturdays. And with trick shots, you have to have the most time of that you can absolutely can. You can't just make a trick shot video in just one day. That's just so hard.
Too difficult.
And they were going to church on Sunday, so that was like half their day, maybe.
Yeah.
I know. The thing that they came with is, would they have to quit Dude Perfect, which they didn't want to do, or would they keep a huge, or do a huge leap and quit their jobs, good paying jobs? I don't know, guys. What will they do? But that's all for this episode. That's all for episode 17, guys. Next week, a week from this being uploaded, next Friday, we will be doing the second part. We actually are reviewing the whole documentary in just one day. So we're gonna do back-to-back episodes. So if there is Dude Perfect news, like Overtime 16 is going to be coming out on the Monday after,
this upcoming Monday.
So there won't be really Dude Perfect news. We will talk about that. Like, if there is any news, we'll talk about that on the, the Game Time. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, come back for episode, the part 2 of the Dude Perfect documentary review. I like this. This first half went nicely, went smooth. The second half is just gonna be
butter.
Yeah. So guys, come back from the next for next week, where we do the second half and then do the total review. How we review this whole documentary from 1 out of 10. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be good. come back. We will talk about the Dude Perfect DPHQ2 Lego set. Like updates if Dude Perfect does like it, if Cody Jones does like it again, and stuff like that. So that'll be coming next game time. We'll be doing some Dude Perfect game time. So the same thing that we did on episode 2 of game time, we'll be doing that same. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay, guys, that's it. Okay, pound it. Noggin. See ya. Good night. If you want the latest Dude Perfect Fancast news, follow us on Instagram at dude_perfect_fancast or using the link in the description. If you want to follow my Ned Forrester fan page, go and do so using the link in the description or at Ned_Forrester_fan page. We have another podcast, the Mr. Beast Fancast. I run that. Noah is going to be on there soon. So go check that out using the link in the description or just type the Mr. Beast Fancast wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, guys, if you haven't listened to our older episodes, go and do so, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.